Oh my God, your poor dad.
Welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Woo!
Who needs Bailey when you have Jade? We need Bailey.
We always need Bailey.
We always need Bailey.
We need you guys for different reasons.
If you guys are not watching us on Spotify or YouTube, it's just your two little meatballs here. Our Shaft is gone. And
she's busy.
She's still with us. But
yeah, she's here. She's isn't
on this
here.
earth, but she's just doing things.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing about us. We are sisters who support other sisters in their endeavors. And if she has shit to do, we will support her.
We have no choice.
We literally have no choice. It's like, or else we just can't do it.
You know what? Okay, that brings me to a couple things. I have a lot of notes here because there were just a lot of things. I think the very first thing that I want to say is thank you to the people who have been writing in about the editing help. Mm-hmm. We have seen your emails. We just haven't actually really looked at them yet. The last 2 weeks have been very busy for us.
Yes.
But we do very much appreciate you guys reaching out to us. We are going to go through those emails and see if there's someone that we want to reach out to. So thank you to you guys. Also, to the people who were giving my poor sister a really hard time, especially to you that wrote a review. And
wait, somebody wrote a review. Fuck.
And they said, they said something along the lines of, the podcast is good, not great, but mainly because they don't post at the same time and the same day and time every single week. Okay. Which, first of all, thank you for the feedback, and fair. I agree, that is annoying.
Yeah.
However, only one of us is currently editing the podcast.
And also, 80% of the episodes are, I would say more than 80% have been posted Monday morning.
The only other thing that it made me think of was because they specified day and time.
Oh, so maybe we need to be more consistent about the time.
So, I don't know how these things work.
Honey,
but publish it to where it's it's uploaded, but we don't launch, the system launches it at a certain time. Whatever, the gods launch it at a certain time.
Where we hit publish we can schedule it out.
I was going to say, do we have to do, can't we just schedule it?
This is all very insular things that we can work on.
I appreciate your feedback.
We appreciate the feedback.
But also, it's just it was a really touchy subject the last 2 weeks.
Well, okay, here's the thing. We have a lot going on in our lives. Believe it or not, we have lives.
I barely do.
She doesn't.
But both of my sisters do. And getting together is like herding cats.
It's literally herding cats. It's like running around with chickens with your head cut off.
That's why we're missing one of them.
Yeah. I was in Cabo for 5 days. Then immediately, I got in on Wednesday, and then my friend got in on Thursday, and we had ACL. And that's why we didn't have an episode. And we told you guys we weren't going to have an episode. So that one was not. And if you listened to the episodes, you would know.
I think everyone.
Do you think we need to start over and do a happier? I feel like we're
No, I think this
is
great.
On the defense. Okay.
I was on the defense.
I feel like I'm on the defense too.
No, that's okay. I think this is great because I'm about to bring it back up. So
okay.
Again, but first of all, thank you for your patience. We're working on it, honey. And what I have to remind everyone of, by the time this actually comes out, which will be on Monday.
Okay. What?
Midnights comes out on Friday. And
next Friday.
Well, yeah. So, but this comes out on Monday.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So when this comes out, Midnights comes out on Friday.
So this is the pre-Midnights episode.
Pre-Midnights. Man, I hope nothing crazy happens. She's probably going to drop a single in between when we record.
Think?
I don't know. I've been thinking she was going to drop a single for weeks.
I don't think she's going to drop a single. I think she's going to drop the album.
I'm fine with her not, especially because we are getting a Blink single on Friday. Friday.
A blingle.
A blingle.
Yeah. And, Blink is coming.
Well, that's another thing on my list. We have so many things to talk about. But
okay,
basically,
let's stay on Taylor.
Midnights.
Here's our
is so
predictions.
soon.
Because she just dropped Evermore and Folklore on us, right?
Yeah.
She didn't give us singles. But that was different times.
Different times.
That was COVID.
COVID times.
And it was like a surprise. This is more of like a traditional Taylor album drop, right?
And she's like, guess what?
And then the
It's
karma of it all is very.
Exists.
Do you think we're gonna get? Well, I don't want to speak for we because I feel like I'm so new to this, but like I feel like she's gonna give you guys
Us.
something.
You can say
okay,
you
us.
Can say us.
Okay, I'll say us. Or we're hoping that she gives us some sort of clues to what karma really is in that song, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that could be her little Easter egg for karma.
Something I'm checking on right now because
Grandma karma.
okay. So guess what TikTok brought to my attention?
What?
That Taylor has a song on her Midnight's album called Sweet Nothing. Guess who else had a song on their that they produced their album? I don't know how that works. Calvin Harris.
Okay, I did see that. I see a lot of crazy Taylor things though on
So do
TikTok.
I.
Tay Talk is so crazy. By the way, like, why is it Swift Talk and why is it not Tay Talk?
I don't know.
But like, I'm on Gaylor Talk.
Yeah, everyone is.
I know, but it's like, get me off of Gaylor Talk. I don't want to keep like talking about this. Like, she will tell us if she's bi or not. And
Well, and bottom line is like
kind of it, like, pretty obvious.
are you good?
It's pretty obvious she's pretty bi. Like,
Well, and that's just literally not the thing to be talking about. Like, that's not the interesting thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Everyone wants to make that the interesting thing because it hasn't been admitted publicly. Who gives a fuck? Sorry, excuse my language. Who cares?
who gives a rat's poop?
Who gives a rat's behind? Because, like, she can do whatever she wants. She can do whoever she wants. She can be with whoever she wants.
And why
And guess
are-
what? I'm going to love her till the day I die.
Well, same. Depending on some things, but as far as her sexuality goes, it's kind of none of my goddamn business.
Exactly. It's none of our goddamn business.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I do love the little Easter eggs that they put together, and then I loved that this one girl really put it together on why she didn't come out when they thought that she was going to come out, and it made a lot of sense.
Was it because of her
Music?
being
Yeah.
like she found out her music was
Yeah.
sold to Scooter? Yeah. I agree. And she apparently had all of those things ready to go.
Yeah.
Like the dress and every Easter egg was like leading up to it. And then she had to pivot.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Our queen can pivot.
Yeah.
Even though she had this whole announcement probably planned, allegedly, she had to pivot because this was in her mind, in her eyes, she felt that this other situation was bigger than that.
Right.
So she's a queen.
We stand a queen. Nothing but respect for my queen.
So the next, oh my God, we're going to have to wait to record this episode till after it comes out. The next episode. We usually
yeah.
record on Wednesdays. So that's going to put a big wrinkle in
Wait, should we do like a Midnight's like live on TT?
Are you going to stay awake?
I could try.
It's
On Thursday?
It's 11 o'clock our time,
Oh yeah, I could do that.
but it's midnight's, New York time.
Right.
Okay, we might do that. Stay tuned. Okay. While we're on the subject, Blink is back, baby. They're
Yeah.
back. The tour is coming, and we're gonna go.
We're gonna go. We have to go. We have to spend our whole life savings to go, but we'll go.
I've been thinking about that a lot today.
Unless Moody Center wants to sponsor your girls.
Unless Moody Center wants to get your poor dad to Moody Center.
That's our new thing. Okay, clearly the Bears, we love you. We'll never give up on you. But Moody Center, we would love to go to Blink-182. And I have been thinking about taking drumming lessons. So,
And I can play the guitar, kind of.
So, think about it.
And we found out that we can sing.
Yeah, and we know we can sing now. So,
Should we do our Halsey? Where are you?
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
You know, the only thing I had down here was Tom DeLonge is back after quitting the band twice. Third time's the charm.
Okay, you have to read Travis Barker's memoir.
I will.
Honey,
Memoir.
oh my God. Okay, by
Tell
the way,
me.
speaking of Blink, I was in Cabo, which, by the way, have we not talked about Cabo?
No,
we'll
we
get to
will.
it. And I was reading Dumpster Dick's memoir, aka Travis Barker.
Right.
That's what his friends call him, Dumpster Dick. And I realized I was reading the part about him getting in the crane cat plash. Something's wrong with me today. I was reading about Dumpster Dick getting in the plane crash as I was landing in a plane.
That's scary.
And I was crying because it was so intense. Him talking about getting in the plane crash.
Well, also, you know that Mark had cancer. He had blood cancer. And I think last year...
Unrelated to the plane crash.
Well,
by the
because
way.
basically what I'm saying is like Blink as a band
Has been through a lot.
They've been through a lot. Like the plane crash,
Yeah.
the blood cancer, and then Tom, you know.
But
we love you.
It's interesting also is Travis is like such a collaborative soul. And this band has been through a lot. Like him and Tom kind of went off and did their own thing, and Mark was kind of
Do you know what their band was called?
like 41 or something.
So close. It's like plus 44.
Plus 44. There we go. Yeah. And then
Do you know what Tom's band was called?
No.
Angels and Airwaves.
You mean Mark's band?
No, I thought Mark and Travis went together.
No, Tom and Travis went together,
And then Mark did Angels and Airwaves.
and then and then Mark and Travis started like a studio together.
Cool.
It's a very fascinating memoir. If you're into any pop culture, they talk about Meet the Barkers, which was very pivotal in that time for
I
me.
loved that show.
Oh, yeah. Because it was like around that time of like newlyweds. And it talked about how the only reason he agreed to do it was because this like really cool videographer was going to be like doing it. And then he was like super fucked up on drugs the whole time. And also, I just really get how much he loves his kids. He's a great dad.
Great dad.
We love that. Your poor dad.
Your poor dad.
Your poor dad.
Your poor dad. Okay, so do you want to give us a brief recap on Cabo real quick before we go into ACL, or should we jump into ACL because we've been talking about music?
Okay, well, here's the one thing I'll say about Cabo is that the Titties, it was their new debut.
Yeah, it was their debut.
And they did great. And it was really nice having like a bathing suit that just like was up. Like I didn't have to like force them up.
Are you wearing a sweater to make yourself look conservative because you have these big old boobies now?
No, but maybe.
I'm conservative.
But it was funny because I was with all my friends from Chicago. One of my friends at Kirsten, she is, I don't know why I do like South Dakota when I do Chicago.
Oh, no, because we all do.
But Chicago is more, it's like, it's a different accent. I can't quite do it. But when I'm
You want to
around
know how
them,
we could do it?
is if we get
Is if the Bears got your poor dad to
Bears.
Soldier Field.
It's more just like kind of like how like the Valley Girls, like we talk like this, but it's like they're like the bears, or it's like bears.
Well, you
Bears,
know,
my mom.
we only really have to go off of our grandma.
And they're more like South Dakota.
They're so, even though they're from Illinois,
I know, but they're about 3 hours from the big city. But yeah, I love being with the Chicago girlies because they just like bring it on home. They're so like humble and fun and like easygoing, and there's no drama. It's just like a very good group of people, which is why we need to get us there because we belong there to
I
watch
know.
the Bears at least. Like but we're getting into winter, and that's
You know what? And for the Bears, I would go in the winter.
yeah, me too. We can buy a coat.
Bears, did you hear us? We will go in the winter.
Right. But yeah, Cabo was fun.
I'm glad you had a great
excellent
time. And I'm glad the boobies.
The boobs were, and I was expecting more people to be like, oh my God, the boobs. But nobody really saw that.
Well, you have to remember, you've always had some big girls.
I know, but these look different.
No, they look very different. But I
Yeah.
also could. You haven't seen these people in person probably in a long time.
Oh no, everyone at they were the talk of the town at the bachelorette party.
Oh.
But I'm saying more people on social media. So what I'm hoping is that everyone was just like talking behind my back.
Yeah, probably.
Like nobody was like, "Oh, what's going on there?"
Do you think they were saying good things or bad things?
I hope a mix of both. It's kind of like when you get divorced and like people start talking and they're like, "Wait, Jade hasn't posted about her husband in a while."
People are talking about people. Man, that really did happen. Hey, Paige, so what's going on with Jade and her husband?
Yeah, I loved when people were like, "Hey, Jade, you haven't been posting about your husband in a while. Where has he been?" And I'm like, "What do you want me to say?"
Or they would be like, Paige, obviously we know something's going on, so you might as well just tell us the truth because she hasn't posted about him. And I'm like, it's not my marriage, you psycho family member.
And also, like, why do we owe you an explanation?
We don't owe you squat.
That's like the girl who catfished us, our family friend, and she was like literally doing like some psychotic.
She was working everyone.
overtime. She was working over everyone, including my husband,
Including our poor mom.
including my mom, and
me.
And she texted me and she was like, "I'm worried about you. I'm gonna call your mom unless you respond." And I was like, "Bitch,
Call my mom.
call my mom. She's gonna say the same shit. I've got her locked up. You think like you're gonna get through? We are a unit." But I did have a dream about her last night, which was so weird, and I kept like punching her in the face in my dream. But like I kept like trying in my dreams. I don't know if you have this like reoccurring theme of your dreams, and mine is like I'm always trying to fight somebody, but I can never make contact.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm trying so hard to like
Or it's
make
like, yeah, it's like,
contact.
or it's like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, you can't squeeze, and it's like, you can squeeze your like hands. It's like kind of the same thing. It's like you feel like you have all this power behind your punch, and you're like,
Yeah, and then it's like, or like when you're trying to run in your dream and you like it feels
you're not
like
going anywhere.
Yeah, and it's like you feel like you're like in this like Jello mold and you just can't.
Quicksand.
Yeah, quicksand.
No,
Yeah.
I feel that.
Okay, I'm glad we all have this experience.
Um,
But yeah, ACL.
ACL. Anyways, so the only things I have written down for me about ACL, didn't want to get too much into it, but I had a blast. And my biggest takeaway was that it's funny how it made me miss having a boyfriend and be thankful that I didn't have a boyfriend like all at the same time.
Why?
Well, on the one hand, I was always the odd man out, right? Mm-hmm. So whether it was like you with your friend or like Bailey with Sticks or my friends with like their people, like I was always the odd man out, which didn't ever really bother me until the end of the night. And it's like, oh shit, like, am I gonna have to walk home like by myself? Like this is, because at that point it's like everyone else is like in their own world, right? Mm-hmm. And like their person follows them. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a person to like follow me. So I was like, shit. So that I was like, oh, I wish I had a boyfriend. And then the next day waiting to go to the festival, I was just chilling at home by myself with the dogs for hours, you know,
because Bailey wasn't here.
Bailey was at Stick's house and she wouldn't come home till probably like 1:45 or 2, and then we would leave at like 2:30 to go to your house.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I'm like, maybe I should like find a boyfriend. But then when I was at ACL, when I was walking home, I saw so many arguments, and you could tell they were like the silly arguments that don't. Yeah. One person's just probably drunk, but it's like, why won't you hold my hand? Literally, like you dropped my hand, you know?
Tay-tay.
And I was like, yeah, I don't miss that.
Yeah, and I have to say, I think it's just easier when you're like with somebody who's like on the same page to do the same shit you want to do. Because like the last night I was with Ashley and Mr. Roberts, and he was derailing the entire fucking plan, which by the way, I cannot believe this, but we were watching Paramore,
which
that's all I wanted to see on Sunday.
So good.
That's literally the main act I wanted to see on Sunday. I like Casey, I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, but like I really wanted to see Misery Business live because they just started doing it again, and these two fuckers are like, we should just go. Let's go to Zoo. I'm like, who the fuck is Zoo? I don't know who Zoo is. I want to hear one song. I know they're about to play it, and then they're just like like they're making me antsy. Then Misery Business comes on. And also, they don't really know Paramore, but I'm like, if you don't know Paramore, you at least know
this song.
And also, by the way, I don't really know Paramore. Like, I don't know any songs of anything, but I know like 6 songs of Paramore, whatever. They're like, okay, let's go. Let's start walking. I'm like, this is the song. I'm like, you don't know this song?
Yeah, that would be annoying.
I was really annoyed.
What I did really appreciate with Paramore is, like you said, if you don't know Paramore, you know Misery Business. Mm-hmm. And they played that song before middle. Like, it was like before the middle of their set, which I appreciated because Ali and AJ, obviously everyone only wanted to hear a Potential Breakup song.
Yeah.
And I waited there for like 5 or 6 songs, and their set wasn't even as long, I don't think. And I'm like, of course they're going to play Potential Breakup song at the very end. So I had to like dip before because I needed to go see Lil Nas X. And honestly, it was worth it.
But I will say, Hayley Williams is a showman. The way she moves around the stage and dances and
she's so little and she takes up so much space.
Exactly. She is, I'm like, look at her. Even if you don't like Paramore or don't even know who they are, like, just look at that girl go. Like, she's amazing.
She talked about her mom when she first got on stage. She was like, I want to put on such a good show for you guys. I asked my mom to bring my dancing shoes.
Yeah.
Relatable. Okay. Yeah. And then she's being fun. She's being silly. She's
interacting with the crowd.
Perfect.
She was so fucking good.
She re-inspired my like teenage dreams of wanting to be in music. Especially, she's a girl in like a punk rock band.
Yeah.
Which is harder to do. And she kills it.
Oh, she kills it. I will say, every festival or show I go to, I'm always like, I could be in a band. But like, I have no talent.
Well, you said you were going to learn.
I need to learn how to play the drums. Because I feel like we could be Haim.
Okay.
I feel like we could be Haim.
You guys heard it here first.
We could be Haim.
Jade thinks that we could be Haim. So we're gonna make her stick to it.
Well, the first show that made me think, and I could cry just thinking about it, was Dixie Chicks. Oh my God.
I think I cried 2 or 3 times during the Chicks.
It was like when they first came on, I was so overwhelmed with the just like, when they played Sin Wagon, I was like, I can't believe they're opening with Sin Wagon.
I think I was so excited because I wasn't expecting to hear Sin Wagon.
I wasn't either.
And I was so excited. Sin Wagon is Bailey has an amazing voice. And Sin Wagon is probably one of the best songs that she karaoke's to. And it's a very hard song to sing. And I think I was just so excited that Bailey was able to hear Sin Wagon live that I didn't cry. I was just full of excitement. But then when I heard Traveling Soldier,
oh my God,
live, I bawled.
Yeah.
I bawled.
Okay. Here's where I cried. First, I love a concert intro. Like when it's just like they're blasting like their most favorite, like their most famous songs. And you're just like, fuck, these people are like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Just, they're so iconic, especially to our childhood. We were the biggest Chicks fans ever.
We still are. I have their vinyl on the wall.
And I remember like our computer, we had it like, I went in and it was like Windows 95. You could like customize the theme of it, and I made it to have the Dixie Chicks album on the background, and all the colors matched the album. Like, we love the Chicks so much. And so starting out with Sin Wagon was really good. And then when I moved to California at my little going away party, Paige and Bailey sang me Wide Open Spaces. And I just like, it really took me back to that time where I was like, I was so like hopeful, and I still am hopeful about life, but it's just like you're so like excited to like experience wide open spaces. Like this little town is too little for me. I got to get out. And then
because who doesn't know what you're talking about?
Who's never left home and who's never struck out? And then I was like thinking about that lyric, and I'm like, oh, moving back to Texas, like it felt like a strikeout. And then I like am in Austin now, and I'm so happy.
And then the next part that got me was when she said that her dad is playing the steel guitar for him, and then she said, and my son just joined the band like permanently. It was his second show with the full band, and he did the intro to Landslide. And so it was 3 generations of the Mains, and I cried. I cried because that's such an iconic song.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that version of the song is the first version I ever knew.
Yeah.
Right? But then you are such a big Stevie fan, right? I quickly learned that there was a version before, and there's probably been a million versions since.
And I'm sure Stevie loves the Chicks.
Absolutely.
She has to love the Chicks. What's not to love?
It was just like, she has her son there, her dad there, they're singing this song, and I was just like,
oh, and when she was like, and she said, my son joined the band, and I recorded this song when I was pregnant with him, or like had just had him or something. And I was like, Landslide. Cause like, that Landslide Dixie Chicks version is the first version I really knew. And I listened to Landslide leaving Colorado, crying. I just will never forget. I was like eating a sub sandwich, driving through. I couldn't even believe I could eat because I was so upset, but like, I'll find a way. And I'm driving through these beautiful mountains, and I'm just like, wow, like I have been afraid of changing because I've built my life around this person who has done nothing to build their life around me, but like mentally, I like
you thought that was like the end.
I thought like, it was the end.
The like happily ever after end.
Yeah, and it's like for why?
It ended up being a tragic end.
It was a tragedy. But it's like it kind of was just, I mean, we could get even deeper into it. Like I had this like marriage, and then, you know, it was like, oh, well, I'm fine because I have this person. And then it's like, oh no, nothing is there anymore. You have to completely rebuild. And it just, the Landslide brought you down.
Yeah. They were just perfect.
They were so good. The only complaint I have is like I wish they would have gone longer.
Yeah, I mean, but that's a good complaint to have.
Yeah, like I wish they could have played every single song.
And Marty's daughter was playing the violin with her too, and I was like, meh, that's so cute.
They were for sure my highlight.
Oh, absolutely. They were my highlight, and then Paramore, then Casey, then Lil Nas X.
Okay, my Sunday was really annoying because I had to go see Zoo, and I was like, who's Zoo? And then we went to Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they were good, but then Ashley wanted to see.
They ended early, though.
They ended really early.
But they kept the fireworks, which was awkward.
But, like, somebody said that they did, like, an encore. That was, like, a really long pause and then an encore.
Yes and no. Technically, they did an encore, but it still ended at 9:30 when they were supposed to end at 10.
Oh, so that was the encore.
That was the
with the encore.
Yeah. That was with the encore.
And okay, that like really bothered me because also Red Hot Chili Peppers didn't really like interact with the audience.
Well, and they've been here 3 times.
Oh, they have?
They've headlined ACL 3 times.
Oh.
And the most recent one, I think, don't quote me, I think it was like 2017. That's not that long ago. Especially without new music. Again, don't quote me. I don't really know Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I don't think they've had a lot of new music to where it would be like a Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Anyways, whatever.
And by the way, okay, another person who just like killed it for me was Pink.
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about Pink. She fucking flew.
She was fucking awesome. All of her songs were amazing. Like I was like, Pink, like I know a lot of her songs, but I knew every single one of her songs, and the covers she did were epic.
Well, and because I think you have 2 choices when you're headlining a festival, you know that the people there are choosing one of two bands, right? It's the end of the night. They did not buy these festival tickets to see you. And so you have the choice to either, I'm going to play a lot of my new music to promote my new music like the Chicks did.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to play covers of songs that majority of the people are going to know to get them to interact, which is what Pink did.
Which she did amazingly.
I mean, the fact that she did Four Non Blondes and she did Led Zeppelin, and I don't remember the other
She
one.
did Four Non Blondes.
She did I'm Just a Girl.
She did I'm Just a Girl. She did Queen, Bohemian
did
Rhapsody.
Queen, yeah.
She did Bobby McGee with or Janis Joplin, and she did another one. But every single one like was a song that was so epic, and she just like has the most amazing voice. The only complaint I have is this hat she had on was disgusting. It was half black, half leopard, and then she was wearing a pink dress, and it looked just like she rolled around in Hot Topic and from 2009 and like crawled out.
Well, that's just her style.
No, her first outfit was so cute. She was in
Her
like
last outfit was really cute. She was like a red Tinkerbell.
Yeah, she was a red Tinkerbell. And then her first outfit, she had like this cool like leopard corset thing with like some green cargo pants. She looked fucking cool. And I was like, what is this?
She's let her wear
And
what
she was just like
wants.
so funny because it just felt like she didn't really know what she was doing, but like she knew what she was doing.
She knew that she could sing whatever was next.
Yeah.
It was amazing. ACL was a great experience.
Yeah.
Sorry to ramble on so long, but that was fun.
Supposedly going back Sunday. I told Mr. Roberts, because we were supposed to go on Sunday, I was like, if you make me Miss Paramore.
You said, I'm in the business of misery. Let's take it from the top. That's what you should say. Let's take it from the top. You go again
and
this
I said,
Sunday.
Okay, we can go to Zoo, but we're going to Paramore.
Take it from the top.
And
next
then
week.
he said, then he didn't want to go to Casey, and I said, okay, well, we can go to Red Hot Chili Peppers only if we go to Casey next weekend. But I think it's going to be a hard sell to get him back because me and him both had like a very rough Monday. We were not doing too well.
That's why I took Monday off.
I woke up on Monday with anxiety coursing through my veins.
Mm-hmm.
It was really sad.
That is really sad.
It's hard. And I was like, how do I go on?
Okay. What do I got? Beep, 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 beep. Okay, guys. So today we're recording this is Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. And guess what? The Bears are hosting the Washington Commanders. And guess what? What? Okay. They're going to be wearing...
in my head, I was like, who are the Washington Commanders?
They had to change their name.
Oh, okay, got it.
They're going to be wearing their fancy new orange helmets.
Ooh. And we saw those helmets on Instagram.
We saw them on Instagram. So the Bears actually have... I say actually, that was rude. The Bears have a chance of winning this game. Their current record is 2 wins, 3 losses. But Washington is 1 win, 4 losses.
Oh, that's looking good for us.
So what I'm thinking is that these fancy new helmets are going to give them the confidence that they need to just strut through the field.
Yeah.
And take the win. But you know what?
What?
These updates would be so much more special if we were at Soldier Field.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine like us commentating from the sides?
Us commentating on their fancy new orange helmets.
Yeah. And telling
during the game.
Listen to this. Justin Fields takes the ball down the field into the middle, and then he goes and touchdown.
And oh my gosh, look at that helmet! It's so shiny.
And by the way, Paige, I don't think this touchdown would be possible without the shiny new orange helmet.
And even glass half empty. It's like, you know what? They maybe didn't take the win today, but they looked damn good losing.
Exactly. Look at us. You can hire us for your next
Chicago Bears. We're still here.
We'll always be here.
We'll always
the
be
thing
here.
about us. We're always here.
Okay, so I think we talked a lot.
We did talk
Are we ready to just get some stories going on? So we had asked our listeners to talk about some like poopy dating stories.
Right.
Before we...
Do we have poopy dating?
I was going to say, Do you have any off the top of your head? Because I have a couple.
I don't.
I have I have one personally for me, but I have two for my friends that they said I could share. I just cannot say their names.
Oh, is it from your friend or is it from your actual friend?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, like this is from my friend.
Oh, like when it's me. Oh no. I know that I know that I must have a million, but like I can only think of one.
I really don't have any traumatic pooping stories. Although I did, the first time I've ever shit my pants as an adult was when it was after spring break. And it was my senior year spring break, and I had come back from Cancun, and I was staying in Chicago before we all were going to drive back to Indiana. And I was staying with this guy that I had like this off and on thing with. And I pooped my pants and I had to throw my leggings away.
Wow.
Yeah, but he didn't know. It was just mortifying that happened. But honestly, I really don't care about what he thinks about me. So even if he did know, I'd be like, yeah, shit my pants.
Oh, shit my pants.
I was in Cancun for a week eating the worst food ever.
Well, the one that stands out for me personally, I was on a date with Peter, and he lived in San Antonio, which is about an hour away from Austin. So once a week, during the week, I would drive down to San Antonio, stay the night with him, and then drive home in the morning. So that was the plan. So we go to this very nice restaurant, and we're about to leave, and we're having this very serious conversation as the bill's coming, and I can feel myself just like, ooh. I'm not feeling good. And then I just say, excuse me, I think I'm going to go throw up. And then I like...
out of my butthole.
Well, so at first it was from my mouth. But I leave the table and I'm sprinting to the bathroom because it's the first time that I've never had control of... I busted open that bathroom door and I projectile vomited into the stall.
Oh no.
So some of it didn't get in the toilet. And the other worst part is it got splattered on top of me. It was like a whole thing. So I was like, okay, thank God I have a jacket at the table. So I think I'm done. I go back to the table and grab my jacket. I put it on. I'm like, hey, I just threw up. Like, that was weird. We walk outside and I start throwing up again. And I'm like, wow, something's wrong. And I throw up again before we get to his truck. And I'm like, how many minutes till we get to your apartment? Because like clearly I can't keep anything down. So I had food poisoning from that restaurant, which like I don't think it must have been a fluke. Like it's a very nice restaurant. Immediately I'm having food poisoning. So I am just barely making it to his apartment. I'm running. He lived on like the third freaking floor, and I'm like running up the stairs, and I'm like barging into the bathroom. He has roommates, and they're like, hi Paige, excited to see me, and I'm like, fuck off, like gotta vomit. Anyways, so I'm like, you know what, I know I'm supposed to stay the night. I need to go home. I need
to hash this out in my own bathroom.
I need to be comfortable in my own bathroom. I'll be honest, like you are a very quiet vomiter. I am not. Like
me?
Yes. You once threw up in a cup, like in a car, and no one knew. That could never be my life. Like, okay. I'm vocal about it. I don't know why. Whatever. Anyways, thank God. He's obviously concerned. He's like, I don't want you to leave. You're not feeling well. You can just stay here. I'm like, give me all of the HEB bags that you have because I might vomit in the car because it's an hour drive home. So I'm thinking I'll just pull over when I need to, whatever. And every time I was throwing up, I was getting a little more time in between, right? I get off the highway and I'm calling Bailey and I'm sweating and I'm crying and I'm like, Bailey? And it's at the middle of the night. I'm like, are you awake? And she's like, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, you need to unlock the door right now. I'm about to poop my pants. And she's like, what? And I can't talk. I had to pull over one street away at a bank to throw up in an HEB bag. And I was like, it was a close call. It almost came out both ends, but it didn't. And then I finally make it to my house. I do the other end, and I'm miserable. All my makeup's off because I've sweated everything off. I've been crying. Like, it was the most pain I've been in a really long time. And as I'm hating my life sitting on my toilet in the comfort of my own home, all I can think of is, what did I do to deserve the grace of God? Since, we're on different faith paths. Like, what did I do to deserve the grace from God that he let me do this in my own bathroom and not in his bathroom?
Oh, yeah.
I think about that all the time.
Well, should I tell them?
Obviously.
Okay. Okay, so Monday. No, wait, was it Tuesday?
Was it today?
No, it was yesterday. I pooped in my pants.
You can't say that because you did, but you didn't. You sharted.
Okay, yeah. I sharted.
Those are different.
But since we're all girls here,
hi, Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Roberts cannot listen to this. And if this were you, I would totally clip this for TikTok. But I don't think I can clip this for TikTok because Mr. Roberts, he'll see it.
Honestly, he'll like it.
I think he might like it, but we're just not there yet. But I had an upset tummy all weekend. And by the grace of God, when Mr. Roberts spent the night, I woke up and I didn't have an upset tummy. And then I spent the night again with him on Monday.
Wow, you're ballsy.
Woke up Tuesday morning. I left his home. And I started my period too, which was such a surprise. And then I was sitting on my couch working
and not feeling well because it was a long weekend.
It was a long weekend, and I had cramps and my tummy hurt. And then I just was like, I have a toot, and then it wasn't.
It's never just a toot.
I trusted it. And I always say never trust a fart, and I don't know why I did, but immediately when I did it, I was like, fuck. And I ran to the bathroom and I was like, no. And then I threw all of that shit away and I was like, this is not for me.
Okay, that really just brings me to my friend who I had to ask permission to tell this story, and she said yes, but don't give too many details. So it's honestly my favorite story that I've ever heard because she's on a date and the date's going very well. He is parking the car and she went up to her apartment. So she knows she has about 5 to 10-ish minutes, depending on how long it takes him to find a parking spot and walk up to her building and whatever. And well, she's just kind of decompressing, whatever. She knew she needed a fart. Okay. So but she would never do that on a date, obviously. So she's sitting on her couch. She's probably knowing her, she's probably lighting some candles, just getting her apartment perfect. Right. And she's like, everything's perfect. And then she's sitting on her couch and she's like, oh, I have to toot. Thank goodness he's still parking the car. She toots and she sharted on her green dress. And on her couch. Okay. And so now it's panic. Now it's, oh my God, how many minutes has it been? Because there really is only so many minutes before he's going to park and walk up. So now it's panic time. Take off the dress, take off the underwear. She can't really throw it away now. She's hiding it in the bottom of her laundry. She's changing into her pajamas. She's scrubbing the couch.
First step is scrubbing the couch.
She's scrubbing the couch, and then she's rearranging her pillows to where oh, my pillows go here. So no one's gonna sit over there. So there's no chance of finding a wet spot on the couch to be oh, why is this wet? You know what I mean? She makes it. So he never finds out ever that anything weird happened. But then I don't remember if she texted me that night or the next day, but she's like, oh my God. And she's telling me this. I can just imagine the panic that I would have thinking, oh my God, it's already been 5 minutes. Here I am enjoying lighting my candles, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden I have to panic, change my clothes. And he's like, oh, you changed? She's like, yeah, I just wanted to get into something a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because what else are you supposed to say? She sharted through her dress onto the couch.
But then also you kind of have to like clean your butt or else it's going to be like.
I mean, she didn't just like.
I'm sure. I know, but like.
She cleaned herself.
There's so many things you have to do because.
But the other thing is it wasn't. From the descriptions of what she said and the description of what you said, it wasn't the same. Like hers was like just a little bit, but a little bit is too much. You know what I mean? Like a little bit is too much. So there was minimal cleaning on her rear end.
I think that is the perfect way to describe a SHART. It was just a little bit, but even a little bit is too much.
Like
there should be nothing.
I'll be honest,
like,
only since you were honest, is like there's been times where I'm like having a lazy hungover day on the couch or something.
No.
And then I'll like toot and then I'm like, fuck. And I go to the bathroom and it's just the tiniest amount, but that's too much. Like as if I'm just gonna be like, honestly, it wasn't even the whole part of my thong, right? But like a little bit is too much. I have to change my clothes.
And you need to
like
wash yourself like a
you
baby.
have to like clean yourself
because
and like change your clothes.
Get a rash.
But exactly. But then I'm like, even though it's a little bit, I wonder if anyone's like, it didn't go through the shorts.
No.
You would be hurting.
You'd be a disgusting little piggy.
Because a little bit is too much.
A little bit is too much. I think that's like the theme of this episode. And it's just like, but why as humans do we have to poop? Like, I think about that all the time. I'm like, imagine if like that just wasn't a part of it.
Well, the thing
it would save us from so much embarrassment.
Okay, but also whenever I was on the one date that I've been on in like months with that guy the other weekend or a couple weeks ago when we went to that concert or whatever, I told him that we were talking about this topic. He's a nurse. And he was like, "Oh, I have to tell you my friend's story." So he was immediately not even bothered by the topic, which makes me think that since, I don't know if it's maybe because he's a nurse or because he's a boy, that the topic of like poop wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
But whenever I mentioned that this was our topic and he was, the excitement he had on his voice to be like, "Oh my gosh, let me tell you the story of my friend," I was like, you get it. Like, you're not embarrassed. Yeah. And basically the story was his friend was dating this girl. He's staying the night at her house. They'd hooked up. He wakes up in the middle of the night and he has to shit. And for whatever reason, he cannot do it at her house. Like he likes this girl too much to do what he needs to do at her house. So he runs out of the house, almost buck naked, to the guy I was on a date with, to his house, because he lived a couple blocks away with a couple other guys. And of course, guys never lock their door. So it's the middle of the night. He runs into their house, shits in their house. And then the girl's like calling him. She's like, "Hey, where'd you go?" And he's like, "I'll be right back. BRB. And then he makes it back. But they still give him shit for taking a shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's just like so funny. Like, it was the fact that he was like, "Oh, that's a great topic. Let me tell you the story." I'm like, you don't think this is disgusting?
I think it's like he would probably not want to hear about your poo-poo.
Well, if you're listening,
hi.
You heard about it now. Okay.
What's your time?
It's 6:45. We only have 3 listener stories.
Oh, amazing.
Okay.
Ready?
One of them, I won't even say. Okay. Hey, sisters.
Hey.
First things first. Jade, no worries on the delay. 1, I know, that's why I wanted this one to be first.
Oh.
1, it was your birthday week. Live it up.
Sweet.
2, from one older sister to another, so many pressures already come with being the older sister, so no need to drive yourself crazy.
Wow.
Thank you.
To my soul sister.
Okay. So here's my poop story for you. It's a doozy.
Hell yeah.
So me and my boyfriend just moved in with each other. And being a normal girl, the whole pooping situation was stressful when we first moved in because, I wanted to keep up the whole girls are pristine and don't poop thing.
Right.
So exactly 1 month into moving in together, I had to get a colonoscopy. And if you've ever had one, you are 1000% cleaned out. So I started the prep while my boyfriend was at work thinking I'll be good before he comes home. Well, sisters, I thought wrong. I'll try to spare you the details, but let's just say this was way worse than any hangover I've ever had. I was sitting on a toilet while hugging a garbage pail on my lap. So I walk out of the bathroom, go to clean the garbage pail, and my boyfriend, who's currently playing video games with his friends, has his headset on, and he was like, guys, it's brutal over here. So I pay him no mind, thinking I'm in the clear, and he's just very into his game. Well, think again. He followed up with, it's coming out of both ends. So now I'm mortified and that his friends are aware of the war zone that is our bathroom situation. I go to sleep. I wake up again to make my 100th run to the bathroom when I see every candle in our apartment lit. So I look around confused, and he innocently looks at me and says, I'm sorry, but I had to do something. You kind of stunk up the place.
Oh my God.
I know. On the bright side, I've never felt thinner than after this prep, and I also got all the poop scares over with very early on into our relationship. Sincerely, your stinky fourth branch sister.
Okay, here's what I have to say about that. At least you had an excuse.
Yeah, you had to clean yourself out for your colonoscopy.
And it's almost like that's the best way to break the poop barrier, because like you have to. And like for me, this is probably not very feminist of me or whatever, but like I don't love the poop situation with a guy. Like I'm not just gonna be like ripping farts and just like pooping with the door open. Like
I'm like totally.
I'm gonna cry. You know what I'm about to say.
I think I do, but I was gonna say if I'm wrong, then she's gonna kill me. Okay, also, mom and dad have been married for like 31 years.
But it's
like
different. Like we come from like a fart forward house, and
Okay.
I don't want to raise my house like that. I want to raise my family to be like a little bit more discreet.
Okay, but farts are natural.
No,
and
but
poop
like-
is natural. And honestly, tell me that farts aren't funny.
They're
you
not. I
can't.
don't think they're that funny. I think it's like, I mean, sometimes farts are funny, but like the way that farting, like
If
we were boys.
Okay, we were boys.
We were
but
boys.
if I'm sitting here reading a story and I accidentally go
Okay.
on accident, you would die laughing.
Well, especially because it's funny when you like imitate a fart back. But I have to say, okay, to our listener, at least you had an excuse to break the poop barrier, because at some point, like something's going to happen where like you have a stomach ache or whatever, and you kind of need them to be like, oh yeah, like this is the funny thing that's happening.
Yeah,
and
like if you're sick and you can't help it, okay, that's
a good way to break the barrier. Or you can be cute and be like, I need you to go get us coffee. And then he's like, why? And it's like, because you know why. I have to go poo-poo.
I have always been the type of person where I'm not secretive about when I need to go, but when I need to go, I'll tell you, depending on the situation that we're in. Like if we were at my house, I'd be like, can you go watch TV in the living room so I can have peace in my room? And if you were in like a studio apartment, then I would say, can you go anywhere else but your apartment right now? Because I have to do a very mysterious thing that's not so mysterious.
Yeah. Like I'm sure it was like mortifying, but then also you're in this like fight or flight mode, which I was in my first trip to Cabo in September, where I was like so deadly hungover. I was like fight or flight.
You
like,
get to a point where you don't care.
You don't care.
Which is scary.
It's so scary. I was literally like, this person that I like so much that I want them to think this like image of me exists, I don't care anymore because I feel so terrible.
You know, this does remind me, I was listening to another podcast and they had a similar-ish topic, but Okay, I say similar-ish. The only similar thing is the poop. She was climbing a mountain, okay? And she's like, yeah, it took like 11 hours to climb up, and I felt the urge to go when we started, and I'm like, but she held it for 11 hours up, and then when she got the relief of, oh my gosh, we made it, that's what made her like release her bowels, which was embarrassing because she was like in her snow pants and it was like a whole thing. But I could not hold it for 11 hours.
I could.
I would be
I've held in farts.
That's different. I would be like, hey, if you guys need to leave right now to go on this hike, I will sprint to meet you, but like I have to stay back and do this very mysterious thing because like because I can't hold it.
Bottom line is colonoscopy prep. Can I talk today?
Colonoscopy prep.
That sounds like a great way to break the poop barrier.
No, that's like the perfect way.
Yeah. And it sounds like you got a real one that he knows how to light all the candles.
Yeah. And even if that relationship didn't last, like that was a good part of the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Story 2. Hi. Please make up my name if you read this on the pod. And I said, okay, Sandra. That's funny you said that. Because I literally wrote that in. Okay. Whew. I love you, Mom. First of all, I don't have sisters, so I'm loving being a fourth Brant sister.
Welcome, sis.
You ladies are hilarious. Thank you. And it feels like I'm hanging out with friends. Also, never thought I'd send an email with that subject line. And it just says, dating poop story, LOL. Then she says, now on to the shit. When I was first dating my ex, I went to his parents' house for dinner. His mom made me, pollo guisado. You know.
I don't know that.
Yeah, we do.
Guisado.
It's a Dominican chicken stew. About 30 minutes after dinner, my very Caucasian intestines were twisting and turning.
I love her already.
As I was trying to power through, I realized that this wasn't going to be a dainty or quiet shit.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I clearly couldn't destroy his parents' bathroom and definitely didn't want him hearing the explosion that was about to occur 2 months into our relationship.
Oh God, that's new.
Simple answer would be to just make an excuse and drive to my house. Problem was that my house was an hour away. An hour. He also heard the bubble guts that were basically at full volume. So
oh my God.
He knew I was leaving to go wreak havoc on a bathroom. Still, I left and basically Lamaze breathed my way home while clenching my cheeks. That is the realest sentence I've ever, because I do Lamaze feel breathe. Like I'm doing Lamaze breathing in between. I've never given birth, but like what I assume would be my contractions.
Yeah, because it does come in waves. And immediately you think you get like relief.
You think you're about to shit your pants, and then you're like, oh,
and you
never
get a
mind.
Second of relief, and then it's back to shitting your pants.
And then it's back.
It's a wave, a rolling wave.
I appreciated that. Okay. I've never been more scared that I was going to shit all over my vehicle in my life. Thankfully, I made it home without needing to go through the embarrassment of a car detailing. However, I will say this start to a relationship really should have been a sign for what was to come in this relationship. I have so many stories about this fool, from him cheating on me with a coworker to her accidentally following me on Instagram 5+ times and denying it when I asked them to stop. She, in parentheses, she said, I sent screenshots, so ... Anyways, just a quick story about me almost shitting my pants to start a shitty relationship. Love you guys and the pod. Keep doing what you're doing because it's amazing. XOX.
Oh my God. What a shitty situation.
It's just so shitty because it's like not even for a good guy. You know what I mean? And it's like, fuck.
And then it's like,
almost shit my pants and you heard my fucking bubble guts.
And then it's like, what's worse? Like having bubble guts in front of a guy you really, really like, or a guy you fucking hate that you don't trust?
A guy you fucking hate and you don't trust. That's worse. That's worse.
Yeah.
Because, like, a guy that you love and the guy that's going to be in your relationship, like, he might tell the funny story of, like, oh, and then she had an upset tummy on the first time she came to my parents' house. And it's like, I know you love me because that's how you told your friends the story of me almost shitting my pants and you hearing my bubble guts at like full volume and like, you know what I mean?
But then the guy the other guy is like, oh my God, she's disgusting. She had bubble guts all over my parents' house. They're Caucasian intestines.
Caucasian intestines.
Yeah.
That's literally me. Okay. Last story.
By the way, I love that she said Caucasian intestines because you are the epitome of Caucasian intestines.
I know.
Like your whatever genealogy came together in your body, you got the widest parts of everyone.
No, I really did. And that's really sad because especially as I've gotten older, my palate has developed. My intestines have not developed, right? So I may like the tastes of these exotic foods for me and they're a little spicy
and your intestines are like, still no.
And it's like, oh, not only no, but it's a hell no. And it's while you're still at the dinner table, no, you gotta go. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm on a date, I'm always getting the same thing. I'm sticking with what I know.
Yeah.
I'm not going with anything crazy because...
What is it, like chicken and rice, like a dog?
Like a dog. It's like the toast. No, it's like the brat diet.
What's the brat?
It's like bananas, rice, apples, and toast. That's what I always eat whenever I'm sick because Mom always told me, gotta eat the brat diet.
Wow.
Anyways, it makes me feel better. It's just not exciting. Okay, last story. Okay, sisters, I'm a great fourth sister and have told a bunch of my friends to listen.
Yes.
And unfortunately, if they're listening, they're going to immediately know this is me.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, well. We appreciate you. To make a long story short, I had a horrendous fall while camping with my new boyfriend. We'd been dating just over a month. I was in the hospital for a week, and I thought for sure that was the end of our relationship, but he stayed at the hospital all week. Gem. I broke a bunch of bones, so I was getting tons of pain drugs and was therefore super constipated. First of all, I hope you're doing well because that sounds tragic.
Yeah, that sounds really tragic.
That's a very bad fall. Anyways, I had a nurse who was a 60-year-old man who tried to give me a suppository. And I was like, hell no, my boyfriend will do this as my back is literally broken and I can't do it myself.
Oh, no.
Kill me, but this isn't even the worst part.
Wait, an old man? Why wouldn't you want, like, a nurse to do it instead of your boyfriend?
I feel like unless I got creepy vibes from the nurse, I want any nurse to do it over my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Like, my boyfriend just shove a little pill up my butthole.
And if I did get creepy vibes from the nurse, I'm telling my boyfriend, get me a new nurse. Or else you're going to have to shove this up my butthole. You know what I mean?
That's the incentive for your boyfriend to not have to shove a pill up your butt.
Fast forward, I get out of the hospital and we need to go to Walmart. Oh, God. This one. This one. Okay. I remember it now. I was crying.
Wait, you're crying now.
Okay. Fast forward, I get out of the hospital and we need to go to Walmart to get groceries. So we're strolling around Walmart. I'm wearing a dress and a little thong. And I think, oh my God, I can't finish this sentence. And I think I'm going to be a funny little girl. And sorry. I can't. She says, wait. I'm going to cry. What? She says, I think I'm going to be a funny little girl and lift my leg to fart towards my boyfriend. No. And in parentheses, she says, no boundaries. What the fuck? I know.
No. I know what's going to happen.
It's the fact that she said, I'm going to be a funny little girl.
Who farts on their boyfriend? That's a strong relation.
I'm gonna be a funny little girl and lift my leg. I'm literally crying. Holy shit. However, to my absolute shock, pure liquid shit shoots out of my ass and onto the Walmart floor and my leg. I'm crying.
Okay, but like, I love that she prefaced it to her absolute shock. Like, who's ever expecting liquid shit to come out of you?
But also, I really don't know many girls who are like,
oh my God.
who I just also love that she's like, yeah, no boundaries. What the fuck? I don't
Yeah,
know.
like that. She understood.
She's like,
that
yeah, that was weird.
That was weird, yeah.
But that was their relationship. And honestly, I love that for you guys.
Everyone has that relationship that has like no boundaries. That's like bad.
Oh, God. I think it was just that sentence. I think I'm going to be a funny little girl and lift my leg. Okay. Anyways, we got this. My boyfriend and I started legit dying laughing while I'm trying to waddle to the bathrooms to fix this situation. I clean the shit off my leg and throw my undies, and then I'm like, shit, someone is gonna slip and fall in my diarrhea. Because honestly, that would be my next thought too. Is like,
oh yeah,
I cleaned myself and it's like, I would think that I just can't let someone else clean it. I wouldn't think that someone's gonna slip and fall in it. But same. Whew. I have a conscience, so I go back to clean the shit up off the floor with paper towels. And instead of helping me, my boyfriend just films me cleaning the diarrhea off the Walmart floor. To top off one of the classiest things I've ever done, I had one too many glasses of wine when meeting his family for the first time and decided to tell them this story. And then she has the emoji that's like streaming tears crying. And she has two of them. Needless to say, we've been together for 3 years now, and his family thought it was hysterical.
Oh my God.
Toodles, you guys bust me up and make my drive to work way less boring.
Okay. It makes me feel so much better that the family has a sense of humor, because if they didn't, that would be so bad.
If they didn't, you would have to change your name and move states and never speak to these people
And it makes
again.
me feel better that you guys are together and it's not some like ratchet
but
relationship where you guys just go to Walmart and like fart on each other.
But it's like if her and her boyfriend have this relationship where they're like lifting their legs to fart on each other, clearly he comes from like a very open family.
Yeah. Well, you would assume, or he would be like against his family. You know, maybe he has a very conservative family,
Well,
and he's like, I'm looking for a girl that will lift her leg and fart on me.
Well, no, because if you remember, our poor sister Bailey dated a guy who came from a like more conservative family. Like farts were not funny in his household. And then when our poor dad farted in the crack of their door, he thought it was absurd. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, I come from a fart family, and I don't really want to be in like a fart forward family.
Here's the thing about me and farts. I mean, fart families is like, I don't mind, now that I have a boyfriend, my future boyfriend, like my future husband, let's say.
Yeah.
I don't mind if he is open with me about like, honey, I got an upset stomach. I'm going to be busy for a while. Because same. I don't mind if he farts. I don't mind if he farts. Do not ever fart on me.
Yeah.
And be aware that I'm never going to fart around you. And if I do, it is a complete accident and we're not talking about it. And then I'm probably running to the bathroom because it was an emergency. I don't know. Like, that's just not my vibe. But like with my future kids, God willing, it's like, oh, you tooted, like, that's okay, that's fine, say excuse me, and like, let's try not to do that like out loud all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that in the bathroom.
Colorado would literally fart on me.
Like, on you?
Yes, like on me.
That
He's
is
honestly the worst.
That is like one of, I don't know why, that is just like one of, to me,
disrespectful.
the most like degrading things.
I know.
Which is like, weird
no,
because
would
it's
just
just
be
a
like-
little fart, but like I'm talking butt cheeks like on my leg or
Oh
something.
no, he's
like,
not like holding me down like Bart Simpson style and
well,
like
that's
farting
like
on
what
me.
I've had a boyfriend that did that, and I was like trapped. And I'm like, no, seriously, like get the fuck away from you. And then he would like do it, and then I'm like actually pissed, and he's like, haha, it's a funny fart. No, it's not.
No, we would just be like laying on the couch, like my head over there, his head over there, and like he would fart, and like he would make it a point to fart. And it was just disgusting. He was disgusting. He wasn't for me.
I feel like that wouldn't bother me. Like if you got a fart and you feel comfortable doing it,
No,
like,
no,
that's
it
fine.
would be
Just,
like
don't.
he would like force it out of
Force
his
it
butt.
out.
Yeah, and to like onto like my leg or like whatever. You know what I mean? It's just
You know,
like,
that's weird.
it was weird. He was weird.
I loved this topic, honestly.
Me too. What are we gonna talk about next?
Okay, I have some ideas.
Okay.
That I want you to run with me. So the first thing I thought of was advice, ? Get it off your titties with your sissies.
I love the branding.
Really trying to work with something
with
there.
the new boobs.
Or a time you got caught in a lie.
Ooh, okay.
That could be good. If worse comes to worse, I do think we had a lot of friendship breakup write-ins we could go again.
Okay. I really love the time you got caught in the lie, or you caught somebody in a lie.
I have two more.
Okay.
More crazy stories. I actually met one of our New Zealand listeners last week, and which shout out Laura, love you. Actually, probably shouldn't shout out your name. Bleep. We'll bleep you because she said I love your crazy stories. I'm not crazy. I did throw a cinder block at my ex's car, but like not like you're crazy. And I was like, honey, you're fucking crazy.
Honey, we're both crazy.
But then she told me the story of why she did it, and the
It made
ex
sense.
definitely deserved it.
Okay.
Okay, so either more crazy stories or a time when your poor dad gave you the best advice or was on your side when you thought that he wouldn't be.
Okay. What if we save that one for when we're home for Thanksgiving and we can bring dad in
that's cute.
and dad can give us some advice? Because dad
you
actually
think-
gives really good advice.
Do you think that dad even remembers the advice that he gave, like that I wrote down in my notebook that he...
No, not a chance.
I'll reread it. I bet he'll cry. You guys
Yeah.
will see our poor dad cry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we should talk about a time you got caught in a lie or caught someone in a lie.
Yeah. And like how you did it.
Hell yeah.
And like, let's help each other. Let's help the sisters catch people in lies. Like,
Hell yeah.
like, okay. So here's what you're going to write in about how you caught somebody in a lie or how you were caught in a lie. And then give us the details on like how you found it out, because we need to be women helping women here.
And or it's okay if you were the one caught in the lie and then you realized
And then you
I
tell
shouldn't
us,
be lying.
or you tell us how to not get caught in a lie.
Sure.
Even better. Toxic.
Clearly one of us has been to therapy and one of us hasn't.
It's like the angel, and the devil.
Which also I don't know why that made me think of Halloween.
Oh yeah,
We got to get our Halloween
we got to get our
costumes.
Halloween. We need to talk about that later, but
Okay, well, guys, this was really long, but we had a lot to talk about.
yeah,
And we miss you.
we
and
miss you, and
We're back.
we're back. I don't have any trips planned.
I'm not going anywhere.
And you're
ever.
not going anywhere. Shit.
Maybe I'll get a boyfriend next week. Who knows?
Just kidding.
Hilarious.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to follow us, rate us, review us.
And when you do, write in about the time you got caught in a lie or you caught someone in a lie.
Yeah.
Write in at yourpoordad@gmail.com.
And don't forget to recruit sisters. We've only missed like 3 weeks, I think, out of the full time that we've done this.
Yeah, no need to be defensive.
Okay,
again
I'm just a little
at the end
defensive.
of the episode. We were defensive at the beginning.
I think we all need to.
We love our sisters.
Right. We
So
love you
thank you,
guys.
sisters.
All right. Well, see you next week, girls.